Welcome to another Brony Debates Live. I hope you're all doing well out there and having a positively spooky Saturday evening. As we're coming up on one of my personal favorite holidays, Halloween. So, out in the chat there, tell me about your Halloween plans if you have any. So here's what we're doing tonight is there's this gentleman by the name of Quantum Hippologist, really good YouTuber, love his videos, and just about every day he puts up a poll on his YouTube channel, of which if you're not already a fan and watching him, what are you doing? Go subscribe to him right now. That link is in the middle of the description there. And a lot of these subjects that he puts up could very well make their own Brony Debates video. So we're going to go through those and we're going to tackle these questions and get the objectively correct answers. We're going to find the truth to all of these questions, or as many as we can, tonight. And in order to do that, I brought on the man himself. Quantum, how are you doing tonight?
Hi. I'm doing pretty well. It's currently like fair weather outside. I've not stepped outside at all. I don't know why I said that. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well.
Very good. So this is your first time on the show here. So I just got done gassing you up a little bit, but tell us just a little bit about yourself real quick.
Oh, my boring self. I started making My Little Pony videos like what, two years ago now? And I in the past, like, I guess like only in the past month, I've started like trying to like really regain steam with like making well, mainly shorts, but also community polls, like at least 2 shorts a week and a community poll every day. And been trying to adhere to that, and hopefully this like continues to gain steam. But yeah, no, I'm trying to like figure out how to enjoy really enjoy the process of content creation. That's sort of the goal.
That is the most important thing. And I got to tell you, somebody that's been on a hiatus for 1.5 years, I'm extremely jealous. So when and how did you become a Brony?
Well, okay, I've known of MLP since like what when I was 9, so 4th grade, and like and yeah, that was like what. Well, I have to do the math now. It was like 11 years ago. So, I discovered like MLP through probably like a bunch of the Brony memes that went around, and like, yeah, the show just sort of like captivated me for a long time, and then I sort of just fell off after season 4. I guess because like there was a really long break that happened in between season 4 and 5. But I recently, or semi-recently, like back in 2021, I got back into the show, and because it was just on Netflix, I saw it. I figured, why not finish it? And yeah, I just started like, I have a compulsion to like overanalyze things that I'm really into, and the more I watched the show, the more I got into it, the more I started taking notes. And I figured I can just make a channel out of it, considering that doing YouTube's always something I wanted to do anyways.
Nice. So yeah, we're gonna tackle some of that tonight, and just a real quick sort of fundraising thing here, because I am just a little bit of a grifter, but we got our butts kicked by Hurricane Milton a few weeks ago, and can use a little bit of help with that. So if you're enjoying the show tonight and want to support, there's a tip link in the description. If you want to, if you have something you want to say to us, you want to come on the show, as long as you've got a good mic and a good internet connection, you can raise your hand in the Brony Debates call-in server. That link is at the very top. And if we think you're interesting, we'll bring you on and you can talk to myself, Quantum. Heather is with us. How you doing tonight, Heather?
I'm pretty chill. I'm crocheting a scarf while you all talk.
Nice. And we got DJ as per usual. How are you doing tonight, DJ?
I'm doing all right. Happy to be here. I'm going to see what we're going to talk about because I don't know this guy.
I'm surprised. I've shared his videos in the server a couple of times. But yeah, so there's that, and we're also very grateful to everybody who supports through Patreon, especially on the $10 and up tier, such as Heather herself for some reason, and DJ himself for some reason. And there's also Shady, Autoknight, Emerald Spencer, Senko, Rain, Billy, Alden, Kanto, Mr. Sonic, Alicia, Calbeck, StarChaser, VentureCorp, Willyzin, Icanus, Vulpecula, Jimmy, Yoshi, and Dark Malcontent. Check out all the links in the description to see how you can support the channel and what you get in return. And with that, we're going to turn it over to the, there we go, the first of the questions that you uploaded 3 hours ago. So we've got that pulled up on screen share in the call here. Can you see that, Quantum?
I can see stuff.
Oh, I didn't even realize. I believe I can see it. Yeah.
Yep. And so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna run through these here and have fun with it. Lately, we haven't had as many like specific topics to talk about, so we've just been reacting to like Reddit threads and being silly about it. So, first, who or when they were 1,000 years younger, who had the best character design? We've got Princess Celestia, Princess Luna, King Sombra, and Lord Tarek.
Let me stop you right there, Senor Brony. Look, Princess Celestia looks 40 when she's 20. King Sombra looks like a twunk. Just figure out what that is. And Lord Tarek has a pompadour. Princess Luna takes the bait. Takes the pole.
Lord Tarek does not have a pompadour. That's like the emo bangs comb over that every, Blink-182 fan had in the early 2000s.
No, like
It's
the
even
comment
worse.
the comment on the most recent Tarek video I made, everyone says that he looks like an emo from 2015, which, to be fair, I think is the point. But yeah, I personally really love his design, and like it also like the redness of his skin. I don't know if the redness is due to like him being infused with more magic than he was like 1,000 years in the future, or if he's just young. But like I don't know, I think his design is really interesting. It speaks to his personality a lot.
I always thought his red face kind of made him look like a baboon.
So I gotta ask you this. I gotta ask you this, Quantum. Did you pick the worst possible pictures on purpose?
I thought they were good. I don't.
Because listen,
Look at Sombra's face.
Celestia is making like a sarcastic, basic white girl duck face. Princess Luna
Okay.
Princess Luna looks like she was caught off guard with no lube involved. King Sombra looks like he doesn't want to be here. And Tarek looks like he's, like I said, from Blink-182.
Okay, but counterpoint on Celestia. Celestia is a basic white girl. Like she is. Wait, hold on. Can I swear in this?
Yes. We don't. I should have told you that before. We don't do censorship here. You say whatever the heck you want.
Okay. Yeah. So Celestia is an absolute bitch. Like young Celestia is such like an over egotistical. Like I love her, by the way, but like she is so condescendingly rude to Luna, and like she learns this lesson, but she is a typical like. She's a typical haughty, I'm better than you, like
she was rude to everyone. She was pulling that attitude with Star Swirl. I would have clapped her if I was her teacher.
And look, the Sombra one is there probably are better pictures I could have used. I'll admit, but I don't know. I like that one because like it's like him. It shows Sombra like at his most like quote unquote vulnerable, like when he was like with Radiant Hope and like
he's too generic in that picture. He has no personality in that picture. That's just what did they say in that one meme from forever ago? It's people from the Midwest post pictures of their husband on Facebook and go, oh, there's nobody else like my man. God broke the mold when they made him, and it's just Chad, the human equivalent of a Honda Civic. That's Sombra in this picture right here.
I kind of think he looks like he ate an edible.
a little bit. I'm honestly like really surprised Sombra's not last place because like it is very strange that so many people were on board with his. Well, more people like him than Tyrek, which is so it's. I guess it kind of makes sense like based on bias, but it's just weird to me. That's a weird take.
Mm.
We like ponies here, sir.
Fair enough.
DJ, I haven't heard from you yet. What do you think?
Out of all of these, I'm kind of torn between Sombra and Luna.
Like a young Luna is cool, and like the whole like I guess it's like the depowered hair thing because this is like the Celestia and Luna. This is before their mains became all wavy and stuff. So like,
yeah.
I feel like a lot of people gain satisfaction from seeing the normal hair.
Got that Luna hair.
Yeah, yeah, the Luna meme. Yeah.
I don't know.
Still don't know where that comes from.
I guess Luna does kind of have the better design. King Sombra's fine. I don't know. Celestia and
Kind of a plain
Celestia
Jane.
doesn't change. Celestia just doesn't change.
Yeah, like I
And
said, she looks 40 when
Tyrek
she's
will always
20.
be bottom tier because he's a bottom bick.
The only difference with Celestia is that her hair, like before it was a gradient, but then like as she aged, it became like actual stripes, like a rainbow stripe.
Mm-hmm. I think
And
it's
Luna
Princess...
just looks like she's taking a shit.
I think it's Princess Celestia just because I am kind of a simp for Celestia.
Yeah, you're simping, man.
Yeah, so I'm gonna
Disgusting.
I'm gonna vote for Celestia here, and Celestia is on top, so I am objectively right.
Oh, I bet you would like her on
join
top.
Oh,
I feel like she'd flatten you, actually.
He's into it. It's okay.
My name is Brony. All right, I didn't get that for nothing. So let's see here. Rusty votes for Sombra. Let's see here. Battleship Agincourt says, I've read the Upheaval series. Luna suddenly is the most rational of the three siblings. Placeholder likes Tyrek. Paladin says
Three
that...
Wait, what do you?
what do you mean 3 siblings?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have three
Yeah,
siblings.
what do you mean 3?
I haven't read Upheaval, so I don't know. Paladin says that was a very specific description for Luna, Brawny. Rusty says that is the look of contentment on King Sombra. With the trauma this guy has gone through, give him a break. And I can agree with that. Sombra definitely, got the short end of the stick through most of the Reflections arc.
Maybe he deserves a little weed.
And not the Reflections arc, my bad. The Fiendship is Magic is what I meant to say.
Well, he went through it then, too.
Yeah. Alrighty then. Shall we move on?
Yeah.
Okay, so aside from Rainbow Dash, who's your favorite Wonderbolt? Now, Quantum, I want to hear from you first.
Okay. Well, first of all, let me say that I was debating between Misty Fly and Thunderlane for an option, just because because Thunderlane is more of a character than Misty Fly is, but at the same time, like Misty Fly's stuck with like when I think of the Wonderbolts and like the first 3, Spitfire, Fleetfoot, and Sorin, they come to mind first. But then like behind her, I feel like Misty Fly is like the most popular of the background characters of the background Wonderbolts, not counting Surprise. So that said, man, I actually don't know. I feel like Fleetfoot, but at the same time,
think Misty Fly ever had a line.
No, she talks a lot. She has a really nice voice, actually.
Okay.
A few times. I forget in what episodes though. I feel like in every episode that she appeared, definitely not every episode, but like in a lot of episodes, she has a prominent speaking role.
Wow, I
it's a
am
toss-up
completely
between
I know
Spitfire
what
and Fleetfoot.
Fleetfoot sounds like. I know what Spitfire sounds like. I know what Soren sounds like. I cannot remember what Misty Fly sounds like.
If I can find the episode, I'll send it. But yeah, Fleetfoot's probably my answer, just because Lisp, and also she has some good moments in the comics.
Yeah.
I actually have to agree with you there, if I may go next, Bronny.
Didn't Fleetfoot get in a fight with Princess Luna over Big Mac in the comics?
Yes.
That's what I love about her.
Yeah, go ahead, Heather.
Yeah, freaking, it was between Spitfire and Fleetfoot for me. Spitfire was the OG Wonderbolt. I loved her design. Like, they've put quite a few ponies with her hair since her debut, but she is the OG with that hair. Fleetfoot wishes. Her hair's like a little bit different, but you know she was just copying Spitfire's do. But I do love Fleetfoot when I've seen her in the comic, especially when she was, like, harping over freaking Big Mac and just fighting everybody to get with him, and like fucking Big Mac didn't even know. So I like her for that, but I guess if we're just going off of what we see in the show, I love Spitfire because like freaking Fleetfoot in the show is just kind of a lackey when Spitfire feels like playing the bad guy. And yeah, so I guess it's got to be Spitfire for me, Captain of the Wonderbolts, baby.
You know something, Heather? You would like Fleetfoot. She was a total yandere in that comic.
You know I love my yanderes. It's better than being a tsundere, am I right?
I guess.
Take that personally. You know you are one.
They're both varying degrees of annoying to me. But I do like Fleetfoot's character. Oh, also, can I just say, actually, I totally forgot what I was gonna say. Never mind.
You gotta keep that train of thought running there, Quantum.
I also have like a fucking Spitfire figurine right in front of me. I have no Fleetfoot merch. I only have Spitfire, so there's that.
You know, I want
to.
I want to throw a headcanon out here real. Okay, go ahead before you lose the train of thought.
Actually,
again.
no, wait, no, you go first. I won't forget. I promise.
Well, I want to throw this headcanon out here real quick. I don't think anybody's trying to copy anybody's hair, Heather. I think these guys fly at supersonic speeds. The hair is going to get windswept back naturally. Because if you look at this picture, they all have the mane kind of going backwards.
And future
oh, you know,
Rainbow
also
Dash,
what it could be is that that's the uniform look. Like, yeah, it's like how in the military you gotta have your hair short, you know?
Maybe.
That's actually.
Well, it would make
cool.
sense
like
to have
that.
the hair slicked back, so that way it keeps out of their eyes while in flight.
Yeah, like, Rainbow Dash is new. She's the only one who usually doesn't have the hairstyle, but then she does get it eventually, as we see at the end of the show. But
and
yeah,
Rainbow Dash crashes into freaking everything, especially in the first 4 to 5 seasons.
Yeah, probably because of that long-ass hair, bitch. Maybe you should cut it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that's what I wanted to throw out there, that little headcanon. What were you going to say, Quantum?
Oh, I was just going to point out, like, in the early comics, how there were so many ponies that were just horny for Big Mac, and I think it was like the Katie Cook comics especially, but like there was Fleetfoot, there was Luna, there was that one T pony, there was a Sweet Cream Scoops. That was one character that just always had like the goo goo eyes for him.
Cheerily, Marble
I'm sure
Pie.
there were more, but I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Cheerily and Marble Pie were both, eyeing him in the show and in the comics whenever they got a chance.
Yeah, true. I'm surprised that never came up again. Also, I think Fleetfoot's eye color was different in the comics. I think it was green. I don't know. It was probably before she was an established character.
I'm not sure. I never paid that much attention to those little details. Rusty in the chat saying Heather being a yandere, marrying Brony a tsundere. How do I ban somebody from my chat? Get out of here with that crap.
Is he wrong though?
Yes, he's wrong. I'm not a tsundere. What the frick are you talking about?
You're right. You're senpai. That's what that necklace I got you says.
Yeah. You could have gotten me a necklace that said Meryl Streep, Heather. It wouldn't make me Meryl Streep.
I doubt you'd wear that necklace though.
I barely wear the senpai necklace. So, DJ, who's your favorite Wonderbolt of these 4?
I would say it's kind of a tie between Spitfire and Soren.
Why is that?
Soren, he's just kind of a doof. And I like doof characters. Spitfire,
I appreciate that.
I like her attitude, especially in some of the later episodes where she's like, I love yelling at these kids. And also some poisoning from some fan fictions where, like, my favorite one, she's a secret knight of Equestria and has a Phoenix friend that she double teams with Phoenix powers. It's super cool.
That sounds like an absolutely insane fan fiction. What's that called?
That is the Soaring Skies series where it's all about martial arts.
Oh, Brony will love that.
Yeah, you're intriguing me here. Hopefully, I can get some time to read it.
It's like 10 stories, all continuing along with different different subplots that carry through each storyline with an epilogue. It starts with what is the first story? Rick, where is it? Foal of the Forest. Basically, Fluttershy finds a foal living in the Everfree Forest, and it goes from there as more and more things happen because of his involvement. And it takes place like during season 3.
Alrighty then.
And it redoes like all the Discord and Twilight becoming a princess kind of thing eventually. And it goes into a lot of like politics and sales stuff. It's very well in depth and very interesting. It's super good.
Yeah. Nathan says, Brony, who did you say is Yandere in the My Little Pony comic? Fleetfoot. Fleetfoot is
I like that,
anybody that's going to get in a fist fight with Princess Luna while trying to win the heart of some dude who doesn't even know she exists, that's textbook Yandere.
It's also called Devotion, Brony. Look it up. Anyways, I feel kind of bad that we have not talked much about Soren in this. My poor only guy that's in the Wonderbolts. Is he the only dude in this fucking team?
No, Thunderlane.
Thunderlane just came in later. He was one of the OG. He was one of the only dudes.
I mean, technically, Bulk Biceps is in the reserves, I think.
Is he? He has so many jobs, dog.
He's got to make a living.
He has a son to support.
I totally forgot about like I feel bad for neglecting Soren because like I had to look it up real quick, but like it was one of the last Friends Forever comics, I think. But like he has a really good a really good comic with Rainbow Dash where like you know how Soren has like the bags under his eyes like all the time, even like
like he looks like he never sleeps.
That's because like he says that he's not as good as the other Wonderbolts and has to practice extra hard because of it. And like he has like a sort of like self-confidence arc and has to like he has to like deliver something to Yakistan, I think, and he gives up halfway, but then Rainbow Dash has to cheer him up. It's a really good comic. I like it a lot. It gives good insight into his character.
I feel bad that I don't remember the Friends Forever that well because I do remember them being really good. Like I loved the one with Spike and Celestia hanging out.
Oh, I love two of them that were like the best. Sorry, you go ahead. I keep taking over.
Sorry, no, I was gonna say that was Micro Series, but I think I'm wrong. I think it was
Forever
issue 3.
You might be right, actually. Because the Micro Series had 5.
Friends Forever typically paired off 2 characters, except in the situation of Granny Smith with the Flim Flam brothers. I think that was a Friends Forever. That was one of my favorite ones. It was that one, and what the fuck was the other one that I loved so much? It was Shining Armor and Prince Blue Blood had his
that was a good one too.
I love that. I love that.
So even though DJ seemed to be leaning more towards Soren, and I can totally see that because Soren is just a genuine dude. I had the same thing where I was between Soren and Spitfire, mostly because they have the most character and the most screen time and exposure, but also because like I'm leaning a little bit more towards Spitfire in that there because I feel like I relate to Spitfire a little bit more, and she's definitely like a very realistic portrayal of like a team leader, a professional sport coach where she's like really tough and has high expectations of her people. She has the capacity to teach. She and as a former teacher, I admire teachers, especially if they're good at their job. And Spitfire is really good at teaching in the show. I don't know why they took that away from her in the comics, and I especially don't know why they gave it to Rainbow Dash, who almost certainly would make the worst teacher out of the main 6. But also, you know, then you'll see her character flaws portrayed very realistically, like especially in the one where they're trying out for the Equestria games, and Spitfire's trying to get Rainbow Dash over to come to the Cloudsdale team so they can trade in for, you know, somebody who's not injured because the doofus injured himself while looking at girls. So it's all very realistic to me, and that's why I sort of lean more towards Spitfire as now the question here was favorite, not best, but for me those words are almost synonymous. Paladin says Brony has a crush or a cash. I don't know what he's. What were you saying, Quantum?
The issue with Spitfire being a bad teacher is that the one where she was like teaching, or like she couldn't figure out how to teach kids, or was there another comic? Because I haven't finished all the comics yet.
Yeah, it was the one where she was having trouble teaching kids, and then Rainbow Dash came in.
Right. Yeah, she should have just yelled at them.
It works sometimes. What's up, Heather?
I wanted to ask Quantum. You put together this poll, right?
Indeed.
So, and you put these emojis. Why does Fleetfoot have a magnet? Like, I get the rest of it, but why does she have a magnet?
Her cutie mark is, I think it's like a stylized horseshoe, and that's a horseshoe magnet, so it's kind of the closest I could do.
Really? They don't have a horseshoe emoji?
They do not. Which I'll take it up with take it up with Tim Cook.
Hold on. I know this. Hold on. I'm about to see. Oh shit! You right.
As a brony, I feel like that's racist.
Racist.
So that's why I think Spitfire is the best. What do you guys think?
In terms of like actual characterization, either Spitfire or Soren. That's a matter of preference, I guess. Also, I don't want to forget about Misty Fly, because I still, like, even despite her not having like too much prominence, or close to zero prominence, I still do like her. I like her design, and I like her voice, and from what we see of her personality, I like it. So it's nothing to really hate there.
Alrighty then. Anything else we want to say about this one before we cast a vote and move on?
It was
Read the
really
Savage
hard
Sky
finding
series.
good gifts.
What'd you say, DJ?
Read the Savage Sky series. I recommend it to everyone. It's great.
Yeah.
It needs more love.
Jinx Productions in the chat going full body cast, drinking through a straw. I loved that one. What she was doing.
That's like.
Also, I looked it up. Apparently, there actually are a lot of male members of the Wonderbolts.
Really? Where are they?
There's a whole list of them on the wiki.
So the problem with this poll is we all picked a different answer. So we're just gonna go with Spitfire, who of course is the winner. I win again. I am amazing. I'm objectively right.
Saw that one coming.
Yeah, I'm objectively right in all ways.
Who did you pick again?
Spitfire.
Oh, okay.
There was Fleetfoot. There was Fleetfoot. Quantum, you were a fan of DWK when he was going on. You remember every time like Fleetfoot was in a DWK video when he just made her completely unhinged?
Practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lithium. I can't do the lisp tonight.
I will say that same story ruined Fleetfoot for me, that I can never see her in a good light.
The fan fiction?
Yeah.
Let's see here. I wonder why Soren didn't get as many votes. You'd think a lot of more people would be into Soren than Spitfire, because we've seen a lot more of the bad side of Spitfire than we've seen of Soren.
A lot of people think Spitfire is sexy.
Just wasn't expecting Misty Fly to get more votes than Fleetfoot, but more you know.
Nobody trusts Fleetfoot. They all know she's a yandere.
That's rule number 1 of the Wonderbolts. Don't
Yeah,
trust
if
Fleetfoot.
I'm gonna try to remember the name of the show. I'm probably gonna misremember it. I think it was called Hiroshugi or something like that. But if that show taught you anything, it's never hang out with yanderes. Let's see here. When Mayor has to leave office, who would be the best mayor of Ponyville? Filthy Rich, hands down. It's not even a contest. What's your wrong opinion, Heather?
I'm sorry. I'm going to refer you to the Friends Forever issue 15 regarding Applejack and Mayor. Well, Applejack basically shadowed Mayor for a day, and it was heavily implied at the end of the comic that Mayor used to be in the footsteps of Applejack. I think it would be a great step in Applejack's character to take on more of a leading role, outside of the farm to the entire city, in which she completely sells her identity. Her entire identity is Sweet Apple Acres and Ponyville. That's her whole life, so it only is a natural progression. You only want Filthy Rich in there because he has money to contribute into the community, but you don't know where he's going to put that money, Brony. Frickin', he's not going to build a wall and make Everfree pay for it.
At the whim of his daughter, he could completely upgrade the entire school system, playground included. But it had to be his daughter to tell him to do that. No, he couldn't think of to do that on his own. This guy knows nothing other than business. That's not everything you need to run a city. Every community leader needs to be able to hear from the denizens in order to know what the issues are and what needs help. And a business runner as successful as Filthy Rich is gonna know how to balance the budget and how to run Ponyville like a business so that it becomes more prosperous.
I'm just saying, anybody could have told him about the playground. He knew the playground thing was an issue. His daughter was running for school class president, and unless he was super uninterested in what his daughter was doing with his life, with her life, he should know what the issues of the school are and be like, the playground that my daughter freaking goes to school near is completely fucked up. Maybe I should do something about it. No, he had to wait until the daughter told him, Daddy, fix this playground for me, and he's just like, yes, baby girl. Now that's just a rich guy spoiling his daughter. That doesn't show anything. What is any other time he's listened to anybody in the community? The only people I've ever seen him interact with are the Apples and their business partners.
Right, but we do see that he runs a very big, successful business. So he's gonna. We got a tip. What did the tip say?
Here are some bits for Ponyville.
Here are some bits for Ponyville. Thank you.
Ponyville's broke, need money.
So yeah,
Who donated that?
It didn't say. It didn't say. It was anonymous as far as I can tell. But yeah. So in order to
placeholder,
because he runs such a big successful business that's going to involve a ton of different aspects. We know he can juggle that kind of thing and delegate and manage and figure out how to keep everything balanced. Applejack is not going to know how to do that. We've seen Applejack out of her depth when it comes to something that's basically not related to the farm, of which in a whole town like Ponyville, there's going to be hospitals, there's going to be schools, there's going to be roads, there's going to be zoning, there's going to be restaurants, there's going to be plumbing.
I refer you again to how Applejack shadowed Mayor, so she has a taste of what it takes to run the city, and she very much cares about it. Remember when she couldn't come home from the rodeo because she didn't get first place and couldn't bring money back to fix City Hall? She was that fucking committed to bringing something back to Ponyville to be proud of.
Yeah, and I get that, and I admire that passion. I admire that passion, but there's a difference between that and actually having the knowledge and expertise of being able to do it.
Applejack knows something about business, seeing as she runs also a successful business, which Filthy is a partner to.
Alrighty then. Give me one more point, and then I want to hear from the other guys.
I will say, if we're talking business sense, might we speak about Rarity? Because she has because she's an entrepreneur herself, and she also has a big commitment to Ponyville. I don't think she'd be interested in being mayor she's more interested in her, but she's also got a very successful business, probably as successful as Filthy's at this point, since she's got several locations, which makes me surprised that Filthy hasn't reached out to her for like something that we've seen. But I think she's on par with her. If not, she's probably even better because she's like, newer to the field and knows the newer trends in like marketing and business like that. So she might be like on par with Filthy Rich in that degree. The only thing she doesn't have is the seniority. He might just be more wealthy from the fact that he's been doing it longer, but I feel like she could catch up real quick. Those dresses are probably expensive as fuck.
I feel like
Cheerily
Rarity
should not be mayor.
I agree, but I feel like Rarity would get too much. Like Applejack, I feel like Rarity is extremely specialized in her industry, and dealing with something as complicated as Ponyville is going to very quickly get out of her depth. But I'm pretty sure
she doesn't have the advantage of having shadowed the mayor like Applejack does. So I'll give you that. I feel like she's less qualified than Applejack, but more qualified than Filthy Rich.
Alrighty then. Quantum, who's your vote on this one?
All right. Well, a couple things to say off the bat. So I chose the ponies for this poll based on. Okay, well, actually, not to skip ahead, or I guess kind of to skip ahead, but the poll before this was asking like which pony moved to Ponyville. So I wanted to keep this poll to the ponies that I feel or that I think were definitely born in Ponyville. So Applejack and Rarity, we know, are natives. We know that Filthy Rich is probably born in Ponyville due to like his family ancestry. Cheerily was the one that I wasn't completely sure about, but
like, I actually think you might be right, because I feel like in flashbacks to like the Cutie Mark Chronicles, she might have been in the background as a kid. But then again, we have the comic where she went to high school with shining armor, so I don't know.
Exactly, like that was the debate, because that comic took place in Canterlot High, so but she doesn't really seem like a Canterlot pony. Plus, that comic had a bunch of like other weird inconsistencies, like Lyra being in the same grade as Shining Armor, or like Mayor and Cheerily being in the same grade, which is not impossible. But I doubt that they're actually the same age.
Yeah, Cheerily and Mayor seem like they're older than Twilight.
They seem like they're older than Twilight, but I feel like Mayor is like about a little bit older than Mrs. Cake. Well, that's just what I think anyway.
Well, we know that Mayor dyes. We know that Mayor dyes her hair, and the only reason she'd do that is to look older and give herself more credibility.
And she did officiate the wedding for Applejack's parents.
She married. Yeah, I was about to say she married Applejack's parents, so like she's kind of older than Shining Armor.
Oh god, there's a hella police sirens going outside my window.
Jeez, what did you do,
Quatum?
Oh, that's just my ride.
Quatum!
No, but but Cheerily is, I think, like, because you're right, like we do see her in the background of, I think it was Rarity's. Yeah, it was Rarity's flashback when she's one of the ponies that wore one of Rarity's costumes. But so I think that takes more prominence, but I also choose not to take it so literally because, at the end of the day, she was just the background pony in season 1, so she was literally just filling space. But, so yeah, Cheerily probably born in Ponyville. Other point is, or I guess like getting into my actual opinion, there was the Applejack Mayor comic. That is correct. But there's also the election arc comic. There was like issues 46, 47. And that one is specifically about Mayor being voted out of office in place of Filthy Rich, and he does a terrible job because he overtaxes citizens. He gets like cheap equipment, so everything starts breaking. Like it's clear he's very frugal about like actual spending costs, and him being influenced by his daughter is not just a point in Crusaders of the Lost Mark, but also Spirit of the Forest too. One of the comic series where like he starts deforesting the Whitetail Woods, and it takes Diamond Tiara to actually convince him to stop doing that for the sake of the community. So Filthy Rich not very invested in like the whole humanitarian aspect. He's an okay guy, but I think him being he's just okay, and like he shouldn't have any place in politics because he's not going to listen to the concerns of the citizens.
I completely forgot about that comic, so I might have to take the L on that point.
There's also like other ponies like Lyra. What was it? Lyra Cheerilee and Dr. Hooves also tried running as mayor, but those were just weird options, so I didn't include them. Then what? Applejack.
Lyra
Applejack
was
would probably do.
Lyra was running on behalf of the Green Party.
No, Lyra was literally there only for Bonbon, and her the only thing she wanted was more benches, I think.
Oh, I'm loving it.
I think you guys missed my pun, but okay.
I got
I was
it.
thinking that I would like more benches around the neighborhoods and stuff. Why can't I sit?
But I think Rarity would be stretching herself too thin with all of her clothing stores across Equestria, because the mayor needs to be in Ponyville preferably. So I think she has too much on her plate. Applejack would probably do a good job, but I feel like she's just like way better suited at the farm. So Cheerilee would be my choice, just because like I don't know, school teachers run for office all the time. I feel like Cheerilee would work. I also saw a lot of people saying Diamond Tiara. Like in the far future, she'd be a good mayor, and she'd be even better. But out of these four, Cheerilee.
I don't think Cheerilee would be able to I mean, she can barely handle her group of 5 to 10-year-olds. I don't think she'd be able to handle a whole town. And yeah, school teachers run for public office all the time. They usually do a really bad job.
I will say, I think I would just like what it would do for Applejack's character, and I think she could do a good job. Ever since that comic, I thought that would have been a great direction to take Applejack, to getting more involved with Ponyville and being its, leader. I am attached to that idea.
I don't think, okay, so real talk here, I don't think Applejack would be able to do it because she would be too worried about her farm. Like
I feel like that's an oversight because, like, Granny Smith might not be around forever, but we clearly see in the future that Big Mac stays on the farm and he's there with Sugar Belle and they have a kid, and Apple Bloom is not too far away. She has plenty of family to help her, like, to have the farm be run by family and for her to also run the city. And the two things are connected. If Ponyville is doing well, Sweet Apple Acres is doing well. If Sweet Apple Acres is doing well, the city is doing well. Because Sweet Apple Acres contributes to the local economy.
And then Applejack came in the door for the reunion and said, "Sorry, we're late. Those chores took way too long because I was out there doing it myself because I don't want Rainbow Dash to help me."
Oh, come on, it's Rainbow Dash.
Granted, I guess
Dash sucks.
Rainbow Dash is the double-edged sword if she can get everything done super fast. If she actually knows how to do a good job with it.
That way. Yeah, Applejack isn't that way with Big Mac or barely even Apple Bloom. Like, Big Mac takes on a big load of the work. And if we have Big Mac freaking raising a family on that farm as well, I think it's in good hands. Big Mac could take care of the farm with maybe Apple Bloom helping in tow while she teaches at the school, and Applejack can be mayor and still help with the farm. I think this all works out. Applejack is the natural choice.
DJ, have we heard from you yet?
Well, I've been on the fence between Applejack and Filthy. To be honest, Rarity, not fit for the job. She has too many businesses that are nationwide. She would not be able to keep her time in Ponyville where she's needed. She also has her teaching gig at the School of Friendship, where that's going to take most of her time. Cheerilee, her passion is with teaching. She has no reason to go into politics. And I can't see her leaving her dream position to become mayor. Also, I did look it up. Cheerilee was in the flashback from Cheese Sandwich when he first went to Ponyville as a filly, so she's from Ponyville.
I want to put in one thing here that I don't think the main six keep teaching at the school, because it would be an issue for Applejack too if she was still teaching, but I think the Cutie Mark Crusaders at least take over for Applejack, Rarity, and Rainbow Dash because they are teaching. there
Maybe
as well.
eventually, but that's not what we're looking at right now.
So are we looking at like them currently then? Okay.
Like a hypothetical
currently would be
scenario.
them being done. So
like a few
Thinking.
months after the finale, let's say, or not finale, but like everyone still looks the way they do, but Mayor just retires.
okay, time frame wise, I think Mayor had a few good years on her. Like she was definitely as old as like Miss Cake, and there's like that's like middle-aged woman. She probably could have kept going until she was 60. So I don't know. That'd be like 10, 20 years in the future when she'd retire. Well, that is if she won every re-election, you know.
Yeah, which he always has.
I'm getting flashback to
so
Fairly
I
Odd
don't know.
Parents. As your mayor for life.
You got to read those ballots, people. I remember that line.
The sad thing about Filthy is because of the way he is, because of his position, writers always put him as the bad guy, who's usually fairly naive as well. Happened in Everfree Forest, which I hated. Everfree Forest, the Camp Everfree movie. And
Equestria
apparently
Girls
those
That was
comics
a
as well.
that was
Not
Equestria Girls. So
distinct.
that dude was a tycoon. That was not the same Filthy Rich that lives in Ponyville.
Yes,
in
but it's the
Equestria.
same kind of
That was
idea
Doug
that it's sounding
Dimmadome.
like the comics took from.
Yeah, like what Heather said, it was Doug Dimmadome.
So,
Yeah.
I don't like those portrayals that they went with how we've seen Filthy in the show. But if that's how they want to portray him in canon, I would have to say Applejack, but I don't think she'd be very good at it.
So
I think she would need a lot of lower experience before becoming mayor. I don't think she could handle all that responsibility at once.
Maybe not at once, but I think she'd prepare herself if she was running for an election. And I think Mayor, like I said, she shouted her in one comic. I think if she really was seriously considering running for mayor, she'd go to Mayor and be like, hey, I want to do this after you retire. I want to be mayor. And she's like, okay, I will show you the ins and outs even further than I already have. And Applejack, like, she learns best by total immersion. Since if she can like immerse herself into the role of being mayor, like by shadowing Mayor prior to her election, I think she could do a pretty decent job. Like Applejack isn't stupid.
No, but we have to factor in her stubbornness.
Stubbornness. Well, she's had to deal with that a couple of times, and let's say like 20 years in the future, I think she would have learned a thing or two.
I think Filthy. I mean, I will take the loss on the points that you guys made of the comics and Filthy not doing a good job. But of the options we have here, I still think Filthy would have the best chance. And maybe he makes some mistakes, but either like gets threatened with, being voted out or being recalled or something like that, and learns, or maybe he doesn't, and it ends up being horribly. Historically I've seen it go both ways. We've got like President Taft who did that. Shoot, you could make the argument Donald Trump did that kind of thing too. These were both guys that were big into business and then went into politics and were able to use their business knowledge to do really good in their political careers. So,
I don't
of
think
the
Taft
options,
was well remembered.
was it Taft or Tweed?
I don't know. I know.
Okay, I'll agree with Jinx Productions in the chat. Derpy is the true mayor we need.
Popular vote.
The write-in candidate no one had expected.
I would sooner vote for Derpy winning is like the dog that wins mayor every year.
I always wondered how that worked.
Yeah. So
Write-in.
yeah, that's exactly what happened. I don't know. So what are we thinking here? There was one in the chat I wanted to read. Grimwolf said, the problem is that government is not a business. It's decision-taking, process following, and rule enforcement. In this case, I think Rarity would be the better candidate, even if she's not interested.
I mean, I love my girl Rarity, but I just don't see her doing this. She has no reason to do it.
I can see Rarity helping in office, but I don't see her like having like a mayoral position.
Yeah, I don't think she wants
Rarity
it.
as mayor, to me, leads to her being arrested, because I have a feeling she's gonna end up doing something illegal.
What would she do?
She's gonna literally create the fashion police.
She's gonna end up doing something that's like a blue law or something that's so crazy that that they didn't know it was illegal, and she ends up suffering for it.
Oh, that's what Heather's saying. She's going to create the fashion police, and then an investigative journalist is going to dig through her season 4 designs and go, "Wait a second."
Or she tries to silence a critic or something. I could see her doing that.
I wouldn't say... Like, she might just try to get rid of all the articles from the magazine, and they're gonna be like, hey, I have the First Amendment, and she's just like, what's the First Amendment? We don't have a constitution. We're ponies. Shameless plug, I made Fashion Officer Rarity a cosplay. You're welcome, world.
The skits you did on your TikTok were really good at that.
Yeah, I just need more stuff to write about. And also, there was very little interest in when I did that.
Yep. Alrighty then. So, yeah, I'm gonna... You know what? I'll cast my vote for Applejack and just see what happens. It looks like... How is Cheerilee...
No, okay, here's the interesting thing. Applejack was winning for a long time, but then Cheerilee caught up and like surpassed her a little while after, like a few hours after, which is very fascinating to watch.
I just
I want to know the thought process here.
Did you read through any of your comments and see if there were clues in there as to why?
I did, but I do not remember.
Well, thankfully, I've got them pulled up right here. Let's see here. Diamond Tiara is not one of the options. Moving on. People got to remember the show
I
with
still like that one.
Isn't a bad guy. He respects the Apple's wishes when it comes to selling cider, contributes presumably good sum of money to the school at the request of his daughters, buying his wife flowers, and has never really done anything malicious. Dude's worst crime is marrying spoiled.
Yeah.
You don't
like Filthy Rich isn't a bad guy. He's just kind of ignorant.
I like that comment there. Wasn't Applejack was mayor for a day and was the worst at it?
She did a good job. She did a good job. Yeah.
Yeah, because freaking she was shadowing Mayor. She didn't do a good job because Mayor was kind of like she wasn't even doing the job. Mayor was dragging her around while like Applejack was trying to get a tariff annulled because they said her farm was too high, like it was too tall.
Rarity helped the office more than any of the other numbnuts that were in the building.
Okay, Cheerilee deals with foals all day. She would be pretty good at problem solving and have a strong enough patience to withstand even the most annoying ponies and ponies. Okay, but that works for teaching children. And here's the thing: is I worked with children a lot, and I've worked in elementary schools, and you don't really. A lot of the elementary school teachers that I met cannot transition from speaking to kids and speaking to adults. They go home and they continue to talk to everybody around them like they're 5. So and that gets super grating, and nobody would want to deal with that in a professional leadership position.
I gotta say, though, this being Equestria, it might actually help her because a lot of Ponyville denizens have been proven to be kind of dumb.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what is Ponyville if not just one giant kindergarten?
Just everyone running around.
Hotel Room 404 is a name I haven't seen in the chat before. Welcome, I hope you're enjoying the show. But that person says childcare, politics, close enough.
Yeah, that's probably what the mindset was for most of these people voting Cheerilee. Like, it's the same thing. Freaking Ponyville's just a big room full of toddlers. We have Derpy Hooves as a testament to that. She's considered fucking normal.
Everybody knows she's not normal. Where's the other Cheerilee? Cheerilee is iconic for standing by the side and doing nothing, just like real teachers.
Oh my god.
Got a terrible school experience.
Think of all the teachers you've had. Would you want any of them to be mayor? I say no.
Most ponies are like children, so Cheerilee would do a good job.
Oh my god.
Where's the 6th?
Yeah, everyone's using it.
Cheerily, if she's okay with passing the baton to another ponyist teacher, which I'm sure she would teach the new teacher, leave her students in good hooves, and still be there to advise whenever needed. That doesn't tell me why she would be a good mayor, though. Like,
I think it's just a matter of like
she's more available.
Like, I think it's a matter of like people saying like Applejack and Rarity are too busy, and Filthy Rich is probably not the best candidate. So it's like it's not voting for who you want. It's voting for it's not voting for who you don't want. It's just like real politics.
Yeah, this guy says cheerily because Applejack's gonna farm forever, and cheerily will eventually retire from teaching and have more time for it. I don't think that makes a whole lot of sense.
I've talked to people, and some would say if they retire, they would just go into teaching because it doesn't make a lot of money, but they need something to do during the day. And I'm like, why would you torture yourself like that? Do you want to die quicker? Is that the goal?
None of these seem to really explain it, other than that idea of politics and children rearing being the same thing, which...
Mangle Muffet says, why not Discord? Mangle Muffet...
Why Discord?
I don't think Discord is a Ponyville resident, and as such does not have any rights to vote.
Yeah, Mangle Muffet wants people to die. Like, Discord can't... Discord can't handle...
I love your energy.
Discord can't handle minor disagreements without tearing the fabric of the universe to shreds. Discord running Ponyville would be like if you gave anybody from Twitter any level of power. All right, let's see here.
Discord running Ponyville is the season 2 premiere.
You're right. You're very right. Okay, so we could have time for one more, unless you guys are having too much fun and want to keep going for some extra time. What do we say?
Let's do one more. Let's just do this.
Okay, and this is the one that I kind of wanted to tackle here. Because I'm a little bit of a combat sports nerd, if you didn't know. So I like conversations like this. So if we had a battle royale, which soldier would win? And that's important to distinguish there, a battle royale versus a tournament. So all 4 of these guys and Tempest are going into, Fizzlepop Berry Twist are going into, a ring, and only one of them is coming out. So who do we think would win? DJ, let's start with you for this one.
Let's see. So we have Shining Armor, Rock, QFlash, Magnus, and Tempest Shadow. Honestly, I think I'm leaning towards Shining.
Yeah. What makes you say Shining?
Because he's a master of shield magic. Honestly, all he has to do is outlast the other 3, and then, I mean, the classic thing to do with bubble shields, cover the enemy and just vent the air.
Okay.
Fucked up.
I've never seen him do anything like that before, and shield magic is really just one aspect of it. I don't think he
made it to Captain of Guard somehow.
Somehow, but as Firebrand would say, we've also seen like the state of the Royal Guard, and it's not exactly impressive, and they don't exactly have a good track record. So
neither do Rockhoof and Flash Magnus. They each did one thing.
Rockhoof and Flash Magnus did not just do one thing. They were part of a whole team. They were the main 6 in the era before the main 6, in the era before the Royal Sisters. So we
only ever saw them do one thing.
In their legends and the stories that were told, but then when they came back, they were like, yeah, we went all over the world and just saved people and solved problems constantly. So they definitely proved themselves time and time again.
Nah, I'm not giving it to them.
Really? What am I missing here? That's not,
because we don't have anything other than their legends.
Other than Star Swirl the Bearded's word? Other than...
Yes, and we've seen him be a pompous ass.
Okay, what about Stygian then?
I don't trust Star Swirl's words.
The guy that followed them around and documented everything.
You mean the fanboy?
Okay, sure, he's a fanboy, I'll give you that, but does that take away from the fact that he followed them around and documented everything? Do you hear yourself?
Yes, I do. And all I'm hearing is we have a lot of hearsay, which basically puts them on the same level
Am
as I
I
was thinking of
crazy?
Shiny.
I feel like I'm being gaslit here. Somebody back me up.
Okay, Johnny
I mean-
Depp, let's just calm down a little bit. I gotta say, I'm kind of with DJ on this one. I don't think Rockhoof and Flash Magnets are very good contenders because Rockhoof's thing is just being very strong, and Flash Magnets has a shield too. You could say he has a shield like Shining Armor, but his is very, very tiny. He was very lucky that those two dragons there decided to just aim at the same spot because he's a little guy. Shining Armor has a much better shield. He was able to keep an army out, and the only way that army was able to take his shield down was by brainwashing him and pretending to be his wife. None of these other characters can do that. That shield spell is way too powerful. I gotta say, yeah, Rockhoof and Flash Magnets aren't nearly as powerful. The only one that comes close is Tempest Shadow, and I think everyone who voted for this thought of when she first showed up and took down the three princesses. Let's keep in mind she had a tool to do that, an orb that petrified them. Is she gonna have that in the tournament? That's like a third-party item that she wouldn't be allowed to have. If they can't have that, she can't have that.
Well,
so she has
hold
her
on. Let's
explosion
pump the
broken.
brakes there. Quantum, are we allowed to bring our tools into this arena?
I think the only things that should be allowed are Rockhoof's shovel and Flash Magnus' shield, just because like those are their staples. And like Tempest did have those orbs, but she never really uses them again, as far as I know. So
He didn't.
I don't think those should.
I've got
I don't think those
points to
count.
make about the orbs, but I'll wait to make those. But anyway, go ahead, Heather.
So all we're expecting from Tempest, if she cannot use those orbs to use against the combatants, is her fucked up, weird firework magic, which Shining Armor's defense spell could easily defend against. If he could take an army of changelings while weakened, while brainwashed, he can totally take her explosion-y orbs. The real fight is between Shining Armor and Tempest Shadow, and he immediately knows how to defend himself, and as the Royal Guard, we would know he knows combat spells. Yes, the Royal Guard doesn't have the best reputation, but we say that best reputation extends to like their lower peons, which we usually see. Shining Armor is at the top of the top. He is the captain of the Royal Guard, and he accomplished it at quite a young age. Shining Armor is the GOAT, man.
Thank you, Heather.
You're welcome.
Harriman in the chat. If tools are allowed, Shining Armor gets to bring his wife javelin.
No, let him bring his baby.
No, yeah, I was gonna say, bring the baby.
God almighty, that's overpowered at this point.
Fuck it, that's gonna put some.
Baby's just an auto turret.
Even if Cadence gets petrified in this, he's gonna use her as a javelin. It's gonna be even more effective.
Okay, so Quantum, what do you think?
Also,
of this?
I'm sorry, Brony. Side note: that arm strength though to throw his fucking wife, she is pretty thin. But come on, that's a whole ass pony he threw, and he threw her really good.
He definitely had the delt and lat strength to lift her. Core strength is going to stabilize her so he can get good rooting from his hips and legs to be able to torque the throw. So yeah, that's not really arm, but yeah, getting somebody over your head like that is.
So didn't he chuck her
Hold
upwards? He wasn't really going for distance.
I need to look at a video of this real quick. Hold on, Brony. I'm gonna get you a clip.
Are you talking about the actual javelin throw that he did?
Yeah.
Hang on, I've got it open here. I'll just pull it.
Oh, of course you have it open. You just have that ready.
Well,
to
no,
go.
I've got YouTube tabbed. I can just Shining Armor.
Yeah,
throws
Tweeting
cadence.
about that Crunchyroll situation. How funny.
Well, here it goes. Here it goes.
So let.
Yeah.
Cadence get yeeted.
This is probably one of the best moments in the show. It was iconic. Oh, look at him go! Oh, where did he go?
Oh shoot!
Oh, throw me!
His horn crystallized. He still has the strength to be like, oh no, I don't think so. Not to my Syria, little brother. Don't do that, freaking King Summer. That's gross.
Yeah. So there's the
that was a good one.
Like I was saying, he's throwing her up. It's not straightforward. It's not down. She's throwing her up.
Well, that's a javelin throw for you. Javelin throws go up.
It's amazing.
I feel like his
Look at
technique
him.
is terrible, though.
Really? Have you ever seen
come
a
on.
javelin throw?
I mean, I don't know. Like, is that accurate? I feel like he'd throw something out, like throwing like that.
Not if you're strong enough to actually throw it. Hang on a second. You see, now we're getting
the
it.
first result of javelin accident.
Oh yeah, look at it. That's what he did.
Well, this is
That's what he
Kishore
did.
Morcons.
And they're doing it with one arm. Look at that. Look
Walcott.
at that.
Ooh, that's a big
Yo!
kick throw.
90 yards. That's almost a football field. Look at this freaking dude.
That is a huge effort.
Meters, Brony.
Meters? Well,
He's like superimpose cadence onto the.
meters and yards are very similar. They're close.
90
3 yards to a meter?
and 16 centimeters.
30
And
yards.
welcome to the
Mega Buster Shepherd saying,
hearing
I am here for that Sparity moment. Yeah, baby.
I'm hearing in the chat that people are saying, hey, her wings helped. She didn't even flap them. If anything, that would have made it harder.
That was the glide. But yeah, look at this. Boom. Yeah, that's so what you got right there, Quantum, is called follow through. And most sports have some form of follow through where you get your whole body into it. So like I was saying, if we tab back over here, that's a very similar sort of pose for that follow through, wouldn't you say?
I wonder
I
when
guess, but
they
he didn't have a
scripted
running
that,
start.
they looked at that. Like, they looked at javelin throws, were like, what would he be doing to do this?
Yeah,
That's
so
amazing. It's
and
actually pretty freaking
so here's the personal trainer, anatomy time here. You need the delt and lat strength and shoulder strength, right? Or the horse magical pony equivalent here, to get cadence up over the head, right? You need the core strength to stabilize, so that's core and lumbar strength to stabilize so that you don't drop her or fall off the edge yourself. And then in order to get that throw, most of that power is going to come by torquing the hips through the legs. And then that sort of chains out through the arms. So the arms are like, and it's this weird thing that we say in boxing where you don't punch with your arms. You punch with your feet, because all of that power from the punch is coming from the hips and from the ground and not from any sort of real arm strength, or at least it can, but you're going to wear yourself out quicker and you got a lot more cardio to do. So yeah. So I will say,
fucking kid
yeah,
leaving a trail.
very, very, definitely very strong to be able to do that. So
He did it without magic too, confirmed, because he has the dark crystals on his horn. So even without magic, he's a pretty tough dude. I'm just saying, goat.
yeah. And I will give you this, Shining Armor, because earlier in that episode, he tried to fight King Sombra as smoke, like when King Sombra was just a cloud. And so even though he very well could have been possibly throwing some strong magic bolts at that thing, he just was totally mismatched against a non-corporeal enemy like King Sombra at that moment.
He lived, though.
Yeah. And so I can give you that for Shining Armor. Here's why I think he's not the best, though, because he's got that, he does have that shield spell, and the shield spell is very strong, but he's going to need offense eventually. And so far we've seen that he's not very good at offense, and he probably does come from a weaker generation of Royal Guard. So even though he's at the top, he's probably not as good as they used to be. Rockhoof, just having general super strength, is going to, by nature and by experience that I talked about earlier in his travels with Star Swirl and the other pillars there, is going to be a lot more well-rounded, is going to be a lot more versatile in a combat situation. Flash Magnus, he's got the shield, and the shield is probably like the weakest aspect of what, even though he relies on it a lot. But in fencing, you've got something called the Cone of Defense. And that was when, back in the 15th and 16th centuries, when aristocrats were carrying rapiers as part of their everyday fashion statement, they would also usually carry for a period of time the buckler, which was a small, rounded, bulbous shield. And even though that thing is only about 10 inches to 12 inches in its average diameter, what that would do is you would hold it out all the way in front of you, and it's a very light buckler. It's a very light piece of steel, so you're going to be able to hold it at arm's length. And that, because that forms a cone in front of you, it ends up covering everything from head to hip. So, and that's most of your vitals right there. So even a small shield can do that, especially if you couple that with his agility to be able to outfly these two dragons and to be able to take that stuff with his those fire blasts with his shield. There's a lot to be said for that kind of thing. Now, Flash is going to end up having the same problem as Shining Armor, where he's going to be focused mostly on defense. Flash will have some offensive capability, probably around the same amount or more than slightly more than Shining Armor. I still think Rockhoof has the advantage in his versatility, just because you can make up a lot. You can make up for a lot of skill if you're strong enough. And if you have experience fighting, that's even better. Fizzle Pop Berry Twist. Go ahead, Heather.
I was going to say we're underestimating Shining Armor's combative ability, because we got to assume he's at least a adept magic user. And let's compare him to Twilight Sparkle a little bit. They're definitely not on the same level magical prowess wise. I mean, I don't know, with the big shield he made, the raw ability he has is there. He should at least be able to do a few moves that she could pull off. And I'm going to say Flash Magnus is going to be limited to close combat unless he can kind of bring in some weather skills that Pegasi kind of have. Rockhoof would be limited to close combat. So I think Rockhoof is out of the running because he's limited to close combat and his defense capabilities are incredibly limited. And Shining Armor and Tempest Shadow probably have the best in distance, that they could do distance damage. Flash Magnus, again, unless he can bring a cloud into this, isn't going to have much he can do offensive-wise, which is why I'm more on the side of Rockhoof and Flash Magnus are out of this, because if we're trying to find a balance between defense and offense, Rockhoof is all offense, Flash is pure defense, and Shining Armor and Tempest Shadow. Well, Shining Armor is more defense-orientated. He has a bit of offense. What is Tempest Shadow's fucking defense look like here? She's very agile, sure, but I haven't seen her.
I can get into
even do a shield spell with her.
I can get into that, and I want to, but before I give the grand finale of my combat analysis here, I want to hear what Quantum thinks is the winner of this gauntlet.
Oh, hello, it's me. No, but that's the thing, right? Because I was really shocked by the and I know it's probably just bias for the amount of people that love Tempest. But I was still really shocked by the amount of people that chose Tempest over the two pillars of legend, which and Shining Armor to a certain extent, because okay, so yeah, Tempest is definitely, I'd say she's has the agility on par with well, she probably has the reflex time of Flash Magnus, but Flash has the ability to fly, and that definitely increases his options for mobility. Like Tempest wouldn't be able to dodge fire as big as that. And we also Tempest has I think she would be able to deal a bunch of good blows really quickly, and she probably does have way more combat experience than Rockhoof, because Rockhoof is mostly brawn. He has that shovel, but I don't think he has anything in the way of fighting techniques, or he's not as much of a master as the other three would be.
He's a berserker.
Yeah, exactly. He's the barbarian of the group, and Flash
and he's not like that barbarian on YouTube.
I'm gonna ask
were you
I'm gonna
referring?
ask a little bit of a weird question here, but has anybody else here ever tried to fight a berserker? Let me just ask you this real quick, Quantum. Have you ever been in a fist fight with somebody bigger than you?
I've never been in a fist fight. Period.
You're a very lucky man. But let me tell you this: if you got a big, strong dude that's just coming for you, that is extremely difficult to deal with, even if you have advantages in everything else. Basically,
I gotta tell you, I have, but not really. You want to know how that is?
Sure.
So, you remember the brutes from Halo? Halo 2, they were very intimidating. The brutes were berserkers. If they took enough damage, they freaked the fuck out, and they were just a wall of rage and strength that came right at you. And if you fuck up just a little, I get it. You can get fucked. But it can be dealt with a cool mind. All you gotta know is that a berserker, they're freaking out. They're not thinking logically. They're not thinking tactically. Who do we know that can think tactically? Tempest Shadow Shining Armor. Maybe Flash Magnus. He's a military guy. But I'm saying if Brockhoof took on the form of a berserker, all you gotta do is keep a cool head, be smart, and try to evade him, because he's gonna run himself out. He's not infinite. He's not inevitable. He's not Thanos. He's not gonna go on forever. And if anything, you could take advantage of that situation of him being a berserker.
I mean,
If anything, I think that would be like with how evasive like Tempest Shadow Flash Magnus could be, that would be a point in their favor, is that they could evade him, especially if he's just going balls to the wall, no strategy in mind. I'm just gonna go berserk. Going berserk isn't always the best thing. Like, it's especially since he's the Earth Pony. All we gotta do is teleport and fly away.
Now, in the case of dealing with a berserker, there's actually one technique that'll help you a lot. And Heather, we do it in one of the Ishinru Karate katas in Wansu, but it's the fireman carry throw is pretty good at dealing with somebody who's just charging at you. It doesn't always work, but it's certainly a good tool.
Brony, I gotta tell you, if I tried to use the fireman technique on a berserker, I'm pretty sure I would die.
Yeah, we got to get you some. We got to get you some actual like practice with that. But that's a different situation.
Because I'm thinking of the fireman carry. How the fuck you want me to get a big guy over my shoulder and slam him to the ground? That ain't happening.
That's the thing about it, is that in the cases of a lot of Japanese style throws, the big guy actually does the throwing for you. It's kind of like, oh, you're going in this direction, let me just help you in that direction. So you've seen me do it to like Chris and JJ, or I'm sorry, yeah, I probably some of the other people that are practicing with us that are my size or bigger. I don't really need to do a lot. I just kind of stick my shoulder in their center of gravity and they just pop right off the ground. It's very little effort. So, yeah, but that's beside the point. Quantum, who was your ultimate vote on this one?
I think Flash has the capability of defeating Tempest. I think Tempest and Shining Armor are pretty comparable, but
let me ask you this: is there a winner, or is this a game of rock paper scissors?
This is so hard.
I don't know. I think Shining Armor is the most well-rounded, but that doesn't mean it really depends on the scenario. I think my money's on Shining Armor, my heart is on Flash Magnus, but really it can be anything.
All right, so let me finish what I was talking about earlier. My vote, my money is on Fizzle Pop Berry Twist. And the reason being is because everything that these guys do to that they specialize in, she has the most versatility and probably has a counter for it. So, Flash Magnus, this I will admit is going to be slightly headcanon, but if you think it's a bad headcanon, call me on it. As a flyer, he's going to burn energy and stamina quicker, so he might have a lot of stamina, but if he's trying to keep his distance, he's going to run out of energy eventually, especially if we're in a closed off ring with no escape. And then Tempest is going to have him beat on agility, especially if Flash ever has to come down to land a hit. And yeah, he might be able to get like say throw some lightning strikes, but eventually he's going to run out of ammunition. He's going to run out of cloud. He's going to run out of electrical charge. He's going to he's going to have to resort to his melee. Tempest Shadow is way the heck better than all of these guys in the karate aspect of thing, in the actual art of the empty hand. So she's definitely going to have the leverage on Rockhoof. We've seen her handle opponents that are way bigger than her. She is overwhelmingly fast, controls the violence extremely well. And so her best counter would potentially be Shining Armor, who I think she can outmaneuver and outfight in a hand-to-hand situation. So Shining Armor's best bet is going to be his shields. But eventually he's going to have to put the shield down in order to switch to offense. And that's not even considering if we are allowed to bring tools into this arena. Tempest Shadow's armor and orbs negate magic, just like we saw in the movie.
I got a question.
Ask your question.
Have we considered that Shining Armor's best defense is a good offense? Like, you remember at the end of the Canterlot wedding, where he used his shields to basically blow all the changelings away.
Did a super explosive wave.
Could he not do that? Maybe not as well if he had his wife's magic powering him, but on his own, freaking boost off one unicorn?
That is a valid question.
He could also entrap her in a shield then. If he can increase their size, there's no doubt he can also shrink them.
Yeah.
And I think there's one other thing that we're missing on Shining Armor. Dude was a D&D player. He's creative.
He's statistical.
Oh, you might have a good point there. So let me ask Quantum this. What is the win condition? Is it knockout? Is it inability to fight? Is it timed, or is it to the death?
I want to say it's either like being knocked out or being incapacitated. Like to the death is not to the death. Just like make your opponent not be able to fight anymore.
Okay, so we're UFC
Honestly,
rules in here. We're kickboxing. We're not trying to kill each other. Okay.
Right.
But we do it. And then confirm for me again. Do we or do we not have tools?
Let's say Rockhoof and Flash Magnus would have their signature weapons. Tempest has her armor, and Shining Armor. This Shining Armor, I guess he can have his Royal Guard armor. Yeah.
He has armor. I like his armor. I have a figure of him in the armor. He looks so cool. I love my best boy.
I love how you picked good action shots or intimidating shots for 3/4 of these characters, and then Shining Armor is just cuddling his plushie.
There's no high quality gifts of Shining Armor on Derpy Peru. It's like...
What? I have trouble believing that.
They're so mean to Shining.
Mean to him. He's the best. Look at him.
Hold up. I'm not going to do it in any tab that we can see, because Derpy Burrow is not always predictable. But let me open up Derpy Burrow here. I'll put on the TVY mode. Shining Armor GIF safe.
The type I use like Shining Armor animated screen cap minus edit.
All right, let's see here. There's him.
Also, that GIF was kind of peak Shining Armor.
There's him getting his
That's
name
Shining Armor
brushed.
in his happy place.
Yeah, that is his happy place here. Hold up, I'll pull this. Okay, I've got it set up where it shouldn't
I gotta
be a problem
do a
now.
side tangent. You guys don't know how often I just want to draw Shining Armor. I love him and I love his design so much,
Wait,
and I don't get to draw him.
Screen cap. Remember screen cap.
Let's see here. What do you mean screen cap?
Like one of the tags is screen cap.
Oh, okay. Let's see here. All right, let's see what we got. Vulgar.
Oh God.
It's my apples.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Thank you for brushing his hair, Rarity. He needed that.
The laughing one's a little more dignified.
Hey, a little.
Oh, there's one him.
Like
There's
Shining
one
Armor,
him in the
I
armor.
love
That's
him.
pretty good.
Because he is the sweetest, idealized brother, and probably gonna be a very nice dad.
Wait, what about this one where he's kind of like
Guys, do
talking?
you
his auto
remember
turret?
how agile he was in the best gift ever? Do you remember
Yeah,
that? I
like
think he might be
when he
able to
did that-
match. Like, I just thought of that during the
That
pudding
Tarzan
incident.
swing?
Yeah, fucking Brony,
Oh,
what are
yeah,
you talking
that-
about?
he-
He's just as agile.
Yeah, he's. That's right after he landed up on that balcony with the dad bod. Are you telling
And
me
with
this
his
is not a
baby.
high quality GIF of Shining Armor?
No, but he's bombing
Oh,
afterwards.
yeah, that's one thing is that he gets air sick. Oh, my
Yeah,
dude, I'm sorry. I do that. I get that too.
Flash Magnus carries him up into the sky. He's cooked. I don't know what to tell you. He's cooked.
Oh no! Don't touch him. He has
He'll
a
just
shield.
throw up on Magnus and cause them to crash, but he'll be fine because he can just shield up.
Oh my god!
Are you
I
telling me
love
this isn't a
Shining
high
Armor.
quality GIF of Shining Armor?
No,
Oh, that was a good one too. No, not
Blast
pancake
came from that
man.
unicorn.
Are you telling me this isn't a high quality GIF of Shining Armor?
Yeah,
That's art if I ever saw it.
that's Shining Armor in purgatory. That's it. That's a
You know
special
what?
hell.
My
I don't know what to
fet-
tell you.
My fetish.
Wait. Send me that GIF. I need that for
All right.
something.
What do you mean you
Don't
need
worry
it for
about it.
something? I don't trust you.
Don't question me.
I don't know. We've lost the plot, ladies and gentlemen.
Can we turn this just into the Shining Armor fan club meeting?
We're just
yeah,
gonna do
Shining
the.
Armor is armor.
We're just gonna do the rest of the stream with this, looking at these faces.
Yeah, this is some good stuff.
Season 6 had some absurd faces.
They were really going for it. They really were.
I can't freaking look at this.
I love all of this.
I need to at least try to keep my composure here. So, all right. So,
I'll go get it off of Tippy
No, we're all in
myself.
agreement it's Shining Armor, right?
I'm
Yeah.
still.
It's the,
I'm
he's
still
the
a
dude.
little
He's the goat.
leaning more towards Fizzle Pop Berry Twist, but you guys have made some excellent points.
You just
for
like her
Shining Armor.
name.
I like Fizzle Pop Berry Twist is very fun to say, and I
Stop
Fizzle
dead
Pop Berry
naming
Twist.
her. That's not her name
I
anymore.
think it's a very close fight between Shining Armor and Fizzle Pop Berry Twist. And Heather, you
Stop
know
dead
darn
naming
well
her.
we dead name bond policy on this dojo. So
You're not doing that.
let's see here. What is BLAA6 is another name I haven't seen in the chat before. Welcome. Hope you're enjoying the show. If you're taking requests, Rainbow Dash being emotionally vulnerable like in the final episode, her clip show episode and her being sad, and thanks for the memories. I'm not sure what you're referring to there, but
Sounded like a request
yeah.
to bring up gifts.
So, okay. It is crazy that Tempest Shadow just was so overwhelming, and I voted for it initially, but we seem to be leaning more towards Shining Armor, and I'll say there are some arguments to be made for Shining Armor. I still think Tempest has it. Do you guys want to add or take away from anything I've said?
I feel like I've made such a solid argument for my boy here. He's agile too, as we saw in the best gift ever. He has it in him. He has great defense that can be turned into an offense. He is the most balanced. He is the GOAT, unicorn boy. Okay?
Alrighty then.
He also
Quantum,
has one other thing over all of these people.
oh, tell me.
What?
He has a loving wife and child.
Aw, he's a better human being. Pony, guy.
Yeah, but Fizzlepop Berry
All three
Twist.
lose instantly.
But
Fizzlepop
but-
Berry Twist.
What are you talking about? What do you mean they lose? It just means he's a normie.
How dare you? How dare you talk to my Dungeons and Dragons comic book plushie loving man like that? How dare you talk to him like that? Call him a normie? He's one of us. He's more well adjusted than the rest of us.
But
Oh, is that why
Fizzlepop
Brony's against him?
but Fizzlepop
Yeah,
Berry Twist is my waifu, okay? I love a girl that can kick the crap out of me.
Well, I guess you'll just have to deal with me, okay?
Why do you think I'm training you?
She's like, please just kick my ass. And I'm like, I will. Kicks him in the ass. He's like, not hard enough.
So,
to
so,
bring back
so
oh my
Quantum,
God.
I've got a little bit of. I mean, this is my fiance here, but I do kind of have a like a Sith master and apprentice relationship dynamic on the
Fuck
low
if I
key.
walked into.
He's like, what the fuck do you mean?
He's like, I don't want to.
Explain.
He's like, I don't want to be here anymore. All right. So, Quantum, what did you think of my analysis for all of these guys fighting each other?
It's all very valid, but at the same time, I try not to think too hard about power scaling kind of stuff, because I like asking like the like one will protect you, the rest will attack you kind of questions.
Yes.
But those are also like,
And you
those are
had
also
one.
heavily
You had one
influenced by
down
bias.
here. You had one down here just a little bit. That was.
Yeah,
I commented on this
the
one. Which species should have had another major appearance? And I'm like, you needed a button for all of them, my dude.
It was that one down there.
Yeah, this was an interesting one too.
I hate this one because I swear like the Ursa Minor was like the most popular choice, but everyone in the comments was just saying if the Ursa Minor comes, the Ursa Major is gonna follow. Like that wasn't a factor. It's just one Ursa Minor.
This is all you get.
I'm voting for 3 bugbears. The Ursa Minor's the strongest by a long shot, but the Ursa Minor can't be in 3 places, and the 3 bugbears are still also incredibly strong. And
Well, not just three places, 9 places with the 2 Chimeras and 4 Manticores.
I'll give extra points because the gift used is from the mobile game.
Yeah, I mean, our human ancestors, the Neanderthals, they hunted the freaking woolly mammoths in roughly, similar sorts of numbers here. So yeah, 9 of these guys could take down 1 Ursa Minor.
Yeah. Also, there are no good bugbear gifts. That's why. I could have made my own, but I think I came up with this one in
It's a good bugbear gif. I mean, I think we could go back to Derpy Burrow and find some ones that are good as well. But I don't have a problem with this one.
No, you should.
All the name is bad. I think it's extra points.
Yeah. So we got a little bit sidetracked again. So you said it was a valid analysis, but then what?
There was more. When it comes to power scaling, I try and just go with what I think is the most obvious thing, because like any character can be any character in any kind of situation. It really just depends on the variables. But at the same time, I do think it's really interesting to get people's opinions on who do you think is the most versatile. It also opens my eyes to things that I might not have considered before. Like reading the comments of the polls is one of my favorite things, because a lot of the times you get people restating the same things and stuff, but sometimes you get really interesting perspectives. So I don't take any of this too seriously, but I think any opinion is really valid.
Alrighty then. So I think that's a good place to cut it for tonight. We definitely got through a lot of these, and I had a lot of fun talking about these. You've got more, and I'm assuming more are going to be coming. So would you ever be interested in doing this again, Quantum?
I suppose so.
Alrighty.
I mean, feel free to steal any polls I make. I don't own the ideas.
Yeah. It looked like I had one guy in my audience who was already a fan of you as well, but it looks like we didn't have all that much overlap, which is which is surprising to me because you got a lot higher of a subscriber count than I do.
Well, posts like that usually don't do very well, especially if you have the link in the actual text. Like it doesn't push it to as many people as usual.
Yeah. Paladin says, wait, Brony likes F-Dom? No, I don't. I just like strong women. Why is that such a problem?
That's what F-Dom is.
I feel like it's different, but I really don't want to get into that right now.
A dommy mommy can kick your ass.
So, thanks
Brony.
to everybody who came out to the stream. I hope you had fun tonight. I hope you enjoyed.
I appreciate the sanity.
I'm not gonna let this get any further off topic than it already did. Quantum, did you have fun tonight?
Yeah, I'd say I have fun tonight. You know, I'm gonna be up for a little while longer, but you know, that's fun. I'm satisfied.
You don't have to lie to me.
Well, no, it's good. It's a good little thing you got going on.
Yeah, well, I'm very grateful you came on. I'm a huge fan, so it's nice to have you on. DJ, did you have fun tonight?
This has been an absolute blast. I kind of hope we do go back to these at some point. And Quantum, hope to check out your videos probably later tonight. Seems like a lot of fun.
Oh,
Thank
you know what
very
you gotta,
much.
you know what you gotta do. You gotta start with his. Which one was it?
Wait,
who is the most thick pony?
No, okay. Here's the thing.
I could weigh in so much on this topic.
No, okay, but the thing is, that video was actually I can send you a link to it right now because the original video was taken down for like over a year, but it recently came back, so I can send you a link to it. It's unlisted right now.
Oh, okay.
Yay!
I was wondering for a second. I was like, oh wait, there it is. Oh wait, why is it only 2 minutes long? Yeah, Heather would love would love that video.
I'm currently
So-
writing part 2 right now, and it's gonna be like 2 hours long. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
and then
I gotta say,
there was your
whatever
10K Q&A subs where you name dropped me for some reason. I didn't expect that when I was listening to it.
Oh man, I didn't know
that was
that.
a while ago.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did, didn't I? I don't remember what context, but yeah.
You were talking about
Well,
whether or
he
not
was
you could
such
be
a
like an
lame-o
analyst
weirdo.
in it. You were talking about whether or not you could be like an analyst in the traditional sense, and then you gave a couple of names, and I was one of them for some freaking reason.
Oh no, because I don't watch any like MLP YouTubers like nowadays because I get really insecure, and I don't know. I have a super like competitive mindset when it comes to a lot of stuff. So
Dude, I know exactly what you're talking about. Like, I feel that way when I watch manga common. Because I knew that guy, I collabed with him, and he's at like over 100K subs, I think. And I'm like, that should be me.
it's the struggle
He does
is
great
real.
work, though. I love him, but I hate him.
Well, Brony, I just sent you the main 6 thick video.
Okay, yeah, I'll drop that. I'll put that in the chat as well, so other people can see it.
All right. But
And-
oh god, yeah.
But yeah, so it was great to have you on, and we'd love to tackle it again. What kind of topics do you like talking about? So if ever we have something that I know is up your alley, I'll think to invite you back. Do you like fan fiction? Do you like music? Do you like analysis? What do you like? Do you like politics? I like politics.
You like cheese and wine?
Okay, well, I mainly just focus on like absorbing all of the like the license and like quote unquote canon material I can, just because like that's the main thing I'm into, like over analyzing the timeline, like how equestrian magic works, what exactly the purpose of everything is, character analysis, definitely.
So you're into the lore.
Yeah, basically.
His shorts that he's been uploading lately do an extremely good job of like condensing all of the lore that surrounds whatever he's talking about in the moment.
I want those shorts to mentally prepare people just in case like I bring up anything super obscure, people have like an actual like a basis, like something to reference instead of just asking, oh, hey, where can I read the comics? Hey, where can I read the books? You know, like that sounds condescending. But yeah, no, the lore is super interesting. That's what I'm into. And also like just connecting the puzzle pieces of what we already know is actually there.
All right. So with that being said, thanks to everybody who tuned in. We had a really good turnout tonight. I think I saw we got up to like 30 at one point. So yeah, thanks to everybody who tuned in. Hope you had fun watching the show. If it's your first time, I hope I've earned your continued viewership as I try desperately to get back to making real videos. Until then, I would also highly encourage everybody to go check out Princess Heather Blossom's channel. She'll be going live in about 15 minutes to do, what are you doing tonight, Heather?
We are going to do night 6 of 5 Nights at Freddy's and hopefully get custom night unlocked.
Nice. So yeah, go tune into that if you're at all a fan of 5 Nights at Freddy's. And thanks to everybody
Or a masochist.
Yeah, thanks everybody who contributes to the Patreon, such as Heather and DJ, and there's also Shady, Emerald, Senko, DJ, Rain, Billy, Alden, Kanto, Mr. Sonic, Alicia, Calbeck, StarChaser, VentureCorp, Willyzin, Icanus, Vulpecula, Jimmy, J Yoshi, and Dark Malcontent. So check out all the links in the description to see what they make, how you can support the channel, what you get in return, all that fun stuff. Until the next time, stay safe. God bless you all, and say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.